Types of flame. There are 3 different types of flames available, based on ratio of oxygen to acetylene. 1. Neutral flame. 2. Oxidizing flame. 3. Carburizing flame. Neutral flame. A neutral flame is named neutral, since in most cases will have no chemical effect on the metal being welded. The neutral flame has a 1-to-1 ratio of acetylene and oxygen. In other words, in neutral flame we supply equal quantity of oxygen and acetylene. It obtains additional oxygen from the air, and provides complete combustion. It is generally preferred for welding. The neutral flame has a clear, well-defined, or luminous cone indicating that combustion is complete. Neutral welding flames are commonly used to weld mild steel, stainless steel, cast iron, copper, aluminium. There are 2 clearly defined zones in the neutral flame. 1. The inner zone consists of a luminous cone that is bluish-white. 2. Surrounding. This is a light blue flame envelope, or sheath. This neutral flame is obtained by starting with an excess acetylene flame, in which there is a feather extension of the inner cone. When the flow of acetylene is decreased, or the flow of oxygen increased, the feather will tend to disappear. The neutral flame begins when the feather disappears. The neutral or balanced flame is obtained when the mixture of gas consists of approximately 1 volume of oxygen and 1 volume of acetylene. It is obtained by gradually opening the oxygen valve to shorten the acetylene flame until a clearly defined inner cone is visible. For a strictly neutral flame, no whitish streamers should be present at the end of the cone. In some cases, it is desirable to leave a slight acetylene streamer, or feather, to ensure that the flame is not oxidizing. This flame adjustment is used for most welding operations and for preheating during cutting operations. When welding steel with this flame, the molten metal puddle is quiet and clear. The metal flows easily without boiling, foaming, or sparking. In the neutral flame, the temperature at the inner cone tip is approximately 3,232 degrees Celsius, while at the end of the outer sheath or envelope, the temperature drops to approximately 1260 degrees Celsius. This variation within the flame permits some temperature control when making a weld. The position of the flame to the molten puddle can be changed, and the heat is controlled in this manner. The carburizing flame. A carburizing flame will produce iron carbide, causing a chemical change in steel and iron. For this reason, a carburizing flame is not used on metals that absorb carbon. The carburizing flame has excess acetylene. The inner cone has a feathery edge extending beyond it. This white feather is called the acetylene feather. If the acetylene feather is twice as long as the inner cone, it is known as a 2x flame, which is a way of expressing the amount of excess acetylene. The carburizing flame may add carbon to the weld metal. Reducing or carburizing welding flames are obtained when slightly less than 1 volume of oxygen is mixed with 1 volume of acetylene. This flame is obtained by first adjusting to neutral, and then slowly opening the acetylene valve until an acetylene streamer, or feather, is at the end of the inner cone. The length of this excess streamer indicates the degree of flame carburization. For most welding operations, this streamer should be no more than half the length of the inner cone. The reducing or carburizing flame can always be recognized by the presence of 3 distinct flame zones. There is a clearly defined bluish-white inner cone, white intermediate cone indicating the amount of excess acetylene, and a light blue outer flare envelope. This type of flare burns with a coarse rushing sound. It has a temperature of approximately 3,149 degrees Celsius at the inner cone tip. The oxidizing flame. An oxidizing flame is hotter than a neutral flame, and is often used on copper and zinc. Oxidizing welding flames are produced when slightly more than 1 volume of oxygen is mixed with 1 volume of acetylene. To obtain this type of flame, the torch should first be adjusted to a neutral flame. The flow of oxygen is then increased until the inner cone is shortened to about 1/10 of its original length. When the flame is properly adjusted, the inner cone is pointed and slightly purple. An oxidizing flame can also be recognized by its distinct hissing sound. The temperature of this flame is approximately 3,482 degrees Celsius at the inner cone tip. Oxidizing welding flames are commonly used for welding metals like zinc, copper, manganese steel, and cast iron. When applied to steel, an oxidizing flame causes the molten metal to foam and give off sparks. This indicates that the excess oxygen is combining with the steel and burning it. An oxidizing flame should not be used for welding steel, because the deposited metal will be porous, oxidized, and brittle. This flame will ruin most metals and should be avoided. A slightly oxidizing flame is used in torch brazing of steel and cast iron. A stronger oxidizing flame is used in the welding of brass or bronze. In most cases, the amount of excess oxygen used in this flame must be determined by observing the action of the flame on the molten metal. I hope with this video, you were able to gain a brief insight about the types of flames. If you liked this video, click on the like button, and if you are new to ADTW Learn, click on the subscribe button to learn more about related topics.